Good morning, guys. It's 10th of December today. It's just about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm back to have another go at these roach. If you saw the last video, you'll remember a rather abbreviated session where I had to go and I just started to catch some nicer roach. So I'm back again, although 24 hours later it's quite different. We've had a bit of rain in the night, and the crease that I was fishing to is probably about 3 meters closer in than it was yesterday. In fact, there's barely a crease at all. It's only perhaps one and a half rod lengths out. So I'm gonna have to suck it to see a little bit exactly where we fish. I was hoping it would be similar to yesterday, but it's not looking like it is at all. And with that in mind as well, yesterday fishing the crease, I was fishing my TFG all-rounder. I was getting some quite delicate bites, so I thought today I'd bring my Ultralight. However, it's pushing through a little bit, so we might be in trouble, but who knows. We'll have a go anyway. Exactly the same setup as yesterday. I've got my, as I said, my Ultralight. I'm going to just fish a running ledger, small groundbait feeder with some angling bait, pro roach groundbait in it, mixed with some of the breadcrumb that you've seen me make. I've got maggots, worms and bread. The best bait yesterday was half a dendrobina, just tipped with a maggot, picking up the better roach. So hopefully we can have a decent session. As I say, it's not looking anything like it was yesterday. I mean, it might do on the camera, but reading the water, it's nothing like it was yesterday. Just that bit of extra water on has just pushed the crease, the slacker water. There's very little slack water in here now. But it doesn't matter, we can fish close in. It's not very deep. Sorry, it is very deep in close here. As long as we get beyond where the lilies are in the summer, so the lily beds, which are probably sort of 3/4 of a rod length out into the water, maybe 2 meters, something like that. As long as we get beyond them, we should be okay. Anyway, enough talking. I'm going to get some bait in the water. So guys, setup, which I quickly ran you through, but I'll run you through properly now. It's my Ultralight mini feeder, set at 10 foot. Got my Shimano Nasci reel, I think that's how you say it. Got a 1 ounce Guru gripper feeder on there, which should be able to hold the flow in here, hold the bottom, should I say. And I've got my own home tied hook links on there. I should change between those, and perhaps the lighter ones I should go on maybe some Drennan or Kamasan animal hook links if I need to. I think perhaps I'll start off on a Drennan red maggot just to feel our way into the session. What we got? That's my hook wallet. Yeah, I think we're going to size 16 to 3.5 pound to start with. Go on maggot. We'll do some regular casting, perhaps every couple of minutes, just to get a little bit of groundbait in, get a bit of smell in the water, because the clarity is a couple of inches, so there's good reason to get plenty of smell in the water. As I say, it's Angling Bait Company Pro Roach. It's got very seedy sort of, how to describe it really, sort of spices almost, herbs and spices sort of smell to it. Roach do seem to like it. We'll try, start off on double red. See how we get on. It's a favourite. As I say, I'm going to cast very, very regularly at first. There's a wind today. That's why I put my coats on. Right, let's try. See, we certainly got some depth there. It's not going to be an issue. Right, we're fishing. Good start. Bites from the off. Fantastic start. Rattle within 10 seconds of going in the water. can't ask for more than that, can you? I think the fish perhaps have pushed across because of the current. I mean, it's not banging through, don't get me wrong, but certainly for this stretch it's moving. Go. Not very big. First one of the day. Fab. They're still here, which is good from yesterday. Only fishing a couple of rod lengths out, as you can probably see, but I'm still clipping up, to be honest, because I want to land this. I think it's the feeder on exactly the same spot every time. Casting towards that big tree there, just landing it on exactly the same spot every single time, because you know the weather is pretty cold. The water's fairly cold, although we'll do the water temperature in a minute. It was about 7 degrees last time I came, and we've had about 3 frosts since then, and it hasn't gone above 7 degrees in any of those days either, so I'm sure it's probably around 5, I'm guessing. So it's not terrible, but certainly roach weather. Oh, there we go, another bang. Need to stop talking and concentrate. There we go. It's a little better. Just about left him. Just about it. I should have probably put the net under that one. Well, it's still here. Fabulous. That's a great start. Look at that. Brilliant. Well, that bodes well if we're catching those after a couple of casts. Fantastic. The other reason, of course, I'm clipping up is when you see the chop on the water, I can't actually see where the crease is anymore. So I've clipped up purely so I can hit the same distance every time. Well, I do moan about the weather people, I have to say, on a fairly regular basis, getting it wrong, but I've got it bang on today. They did say the wind would pick up. They did say it'd be very overcast, and it is. Yeah. I'm just letting that sink on a tight line, just against the clip, and then there we go, it's on the bottom. There's some reasonable depth. When I plumbed it a bit further down, and it's between 10 and 11 foot, probably closer to 11 with this much water on, so there's decent depth there, even that close in. Well, they're queuing up at the moment. This feels a better fish again. Put the net under this one. Wow. That's about that. Catching some cracking fish. As usual with me, guys, no keep net. Putting them straight back. There's no need to put them in a keep net. I'm going to be here for 2 or 3 hours, and aside from the glory shot at the end, which, to be honest with you, you know, I'd rather not. Put them in a keep net and stress them out, they can go straight back. Not a problem. It'd be nice to catch these on the waggler, but it's really not the day for that. Downstream wind, 2 inches of visibility. I don't think so. Not today. You know what, I thought it's coming in like a dead weight. I've managed to catch a bone. How bizarre is that? Strange. That's a weird one. Very lively, these roach. A lovely stamper roach again. As you can probably see, I'm on a red and white maggot at the moment, and I don't think I'm going to change the amount of roach we're catching. I did wonder when I felt that jag. And Mr. Stripey was on the end. Him and his mates come to spoil my roach fun. Very, very big old perch in this stretch, as we found out. Convinced there's some 3s in here, so that would be very nice. Wouldn't moan at it, big old stripey. With that in mind, might be worth putting a worm on. Let's change this to a blink. I'll just show you the setup I've got down here actually, because it's I find it quite useful. Quickly changing rigs. So as you've seen, I've got Guru gripper feeder there, just running on the line on a Drennan sort of bead clip, I think, it's just quick change bead clip. What I've done, I've got a stop above it. That's sort of for 2 reasons really. If I wanted to sort of have a little bit of a bolt rig effect, I can. But the other reason is when I put my rod down, it stops the feeder shooting off down the rod top, so I can put it in the ground bait much easier. So that's the point of that, just a float stop. What I've got below is, as you can see, there's a line of 3 there. They act like a bit of a boom, which stop me getting tangles. And below them, I've got one of these Matrix. This is a size 20, I think it's the smallest one anyway. Matrix quick change swivel there to change my hook links. And what this enables me to do is I can move these float stops about and effectively, really quickly change the length of my hook link. Or effectively change the length of my hook link. I'm not actually changing the length of it. But you know, I can just slide those up and down and change the length of that very fast. And having those 3 float stops on there just stops any tangle, creates like a boom effect. So that's the current setup on my Ultralight. And as I say, it's working really well at the moment. And it's very quick. And I can get some really rapid bites. I can just lengthen that hook link by 1 foot, 2 foot. Literally, it takes 2 seconds just to slide those float stops up. And you're away again. Very quick and easy to do. Because, as you'll be aware if you watch my channel, clearly you do, because you're here now. Yeah, my sessions are only very short. I mean, today we've probably got 3 hours, I would say. So I don't have time to mess about when I'm on the bank, tying hooks, tying hook links, messing about, you know, with extending things, and you know, and also I don't want to carry around with me lots and lots of different length hook links. Just have a box with some hook links in there, and of course the shop bought ones, which you've just seen, and it's really quick and easy to just change those on these Matrix swivels. I don't know if you can see that because it's so tiny, this thing, but it's basically a swivel and it's got a little bit of rubber that covers up covers up a little metal hook. All you do is put your hook link into the hook, slide the bit of rubber over the top of the metal hook, and that's it, job done. It's that quick to change. What I've done is I've put a slightly bigger hook on now. I've got a size, I don't know, that's looking like about a 12 to me. Might be a 14. I'm going to go with half a dendra, I think. Dendrobina tail. Just tip that off with a maggot. Excuse me being all bunged up once again, guys, but I've had a cold for around about a month now. Started off with lots of sneezing, sore throats and stuff, and I still have it. It's getting better each day, but I'm still very bunged up. Right, there we go. Okay, let's see if we can get some bigger ones out. Hit the clip. Let it sink on a tight line. This also helps to sink the line as well, sinking it on a tight line. Liming straight away. Must have seen it sink. This is probably a perch, I would think. Yeah. Another percher here. You must have seen that drop on his nose. Very pale looking fish as well in this coloured water. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, and he's got me. There we are. As I say, very pale looking fish in this water. And he must have seen that. Seen that drop. That worm land on his nose. Come on. There we go. Well, I can't imagine there's many roach about with those perch in there, but if his big brother's about as well, that'll be fantastic. I've had him over £2 in this stretch, well over £2, so a 3 would be lovely. nice, wouldn't it? £2 roach and a £3 perch in the same session. That would be nice. Well, I don't quite know how, oh I didn't, I was going to say I don't know quite how I missed that. I didn't. Oh, I definitely got the perch in here now. Surprised with the water, the colour that it is. That we're catching perch. They become a problem though, could soon change over to bread. But just while the perch are clearly here, it'd be nice to see if we could catch one of those big ones that's around in here. A little bit concerned this time of year about overfeeding the fish as well, but they do seem to be queuing up down there, so I don't think there's any danger of that. And I've got no actual food as such in the ground bait, it's just ground bait. So, you know, I've cast that time and it was a little bit upstream of where I've been fishing, and it's taking much longer than it has been to get a bite. It's amazing that, just being like 2 or 3 foot out. Just shows you accuracy is everything when feeder fishing. Now we're getting a knock. That wind's dropped now, it'd be lovely to run a wagger along there, but another day I think. A bit awkward here with all these reeds in the water. Well, there we go. This is great stuff. Really, really enjoying this. Well, we're having these worms today. Some very small dendrobinas, and they're really, really loving them today. Comes the mafia. What you doing on my river? Oh, certainly catching some nice fish. I might just try a bit of bread. Clearly having these worms. Just see if a bit of, just a small bit of bread flake will perhaps pick out a bigger fish. Worth a go, isn't it? Right, well, I had a bite first cast on bread, so fingers crossed. Hopefully it might pick out perhaps a bigger roach. We'll give it a go for 15 minutes anyway. I love that. Spectacular, isn't it? Fantastic. And it's even better that they're flying away and not around my feet interfering with me. Sport's just slowed down a little bit. I'm wondering if perhaps there's some bigger fish about now. Oh, saying that. I had a couple of fish on bread and it wasn't singling out bigger fish. And the bites were much longer in coming, so I've gone back on the worm. Well, he definitely wins the award for the hardest fighting fish of the day. Yes, just definitely slowed down just a bit. Sport has. But keep at it for 10 minutes, I think. Keep on the worms and ground bait feeder, and then give it 10 minutes or so, I think, and perhaps go on to the maggot feeder. Back on maggot and just see if there's anything doing on there. So at the moment I'm not really feeding the fish at all with this ground bait. There's nothing in it at all. Solid. It's just ground bait. I wonder if I put a few maggots in, it might help things along a bit. One way to find out is now. We'll give it 10 minutes yet on the worms, and because I've got a feeling if I go on the maggot feeder, it's going to be a small roach every cast. That was a nicer bite, much slower bite. Nice stripey. It's much nicer, slower, just pull round at the tip. It's very lively. There we go. Fab. Good if there's a few of those out there. Careful, careful, careful. Whoa. Oh, it is a fish. It went really, really solid. It is a fish. A bit strange. Well, that looked like a perch bite. It really, really solid. Went really solid. I thought it was a very big one, but it's a reasonable one. The perch do seem to have moved in and taken over. I think it may be worth going on the maggot feeder. There we go. Covered in stuff out of my landing net. It's a nice one. Right, yes, I think I'm going to change this over to a maggot feeder. Just so we've got a little bit to keep their interest. I'm only going to put a very small one on. It's a 20 gram small size black cap feeder. I'm going to stay on the worms, I think. A decent sized dendron that time. A decent old one on. Try and grab Mr. Perch's attention. There's some perch about. I don't think there's much point roach fishing at the moment. So let's perch fish. Let's see what happens. Wow, what a session this has turned out to be. Of course it's fishing, so it's completely different than you expect it to be. But absolutely fantastic. Still clipped up, still going to exactly the same spot. Of course I'm actually fishing closer in than it appears because I'm swinging the feeder in on a tight line, so it's going to swing in towards me, and I'd say it's about 10 foot deep, so I guess I'm about a yard closer in than it appears. But as I said at the beginning, as long as we're past the lily roots, we'll be fine. It's a little bit snaggy, a metre or two past these weeds, because let's say it's lily roots down there. Beautiful lily beds all along here in the summer. Certainly opened my eyes being forced in inverted commas to come down here because of circumstance. Certainly opened my eyes to what a wonderful stretch it is. Fished it previously, but only really came down here sort of dead baiting and stuff. So never really been with feeder rods or float rods. Really want to get the waggler out again. So we need a bit more clarity, I think. A bit less pace and a bit more clarity, and we'll get the waggler out. Maybe towards the weekend. Oh, how did I miss that? That was a proper pull. We're on the roach are back. It's a bit of a gap after the perch turned up. Ran a bit quiet. Stopped catching perch, wasn't catching roach, but looks like the roach are back now, getting plenty of knocks and taps. feels a better fish. Prove it's a perch again. Yes. No, they're stripy. Thought they'd gone. Clearly not. Here we go, guys. Lovely perch. Lovely perch fishing down here. Fantastic. Roach perch, roach perch. Alternating. Roach. Beautiful roach. Just done a couple of maggots. Oh, this is wonderful stuff, but it's enough cold. Wind chill is terrible. There's only a breeze, but blimey, it's cold. I've got my thermals on and everything, and still my hands are so cold. It's been a bit quiet for, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour. So I'd lengthened my hook link. Just wondering if they were backing off away from the feeder. It does seem to have worked. That bite straight away then. I was getting plenty of bites on worm as well, and that sort of stopped. I've just gone on maggot and getting bites straight away. Getting another one now straight away. Just little changes just make a difference. Just about. Yeah, just little changes and straight away we're back into fish. Amazing, isn't it? And what did those maggots? There you go. If we do anything on bread, it'd be interesting. Just started to drizzle as well, if I wasn't cold enough. Never mind. Oh, little stripey. Cheeky little fella. Well, they keep coming, as does the rain. I'm certainly liking these maggots today. I think I'm going to give it another 5 minutes and then call it a day. I'm getting wet and it's cold. The fishing's gone a bit slowed down quite a lot. I have, truth be told, I've been sort of concentrating on a bit more on bread and bigger worms, just trying to pick up a bigger fish, but nothing doing. We'll give it another 5 minutes, I think. This is better. It's definitely a better fish. Well, it's a better fish. Much bigger one. Well, it's about that. Did wonder if it was a bit cold for these fellas or not, but clearly not. It's a proper one, isn't it? Fab. And I think with that we'll call it a day. Fantastic. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that today. But it's gone 1:30 now. Time to go. Definitely time to go home. It's still drizzling, so I'm going to make tracks for home. Got things to do. Of course, got the school run. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that half as much as I did. Really enjoyed that, I have to say. It's been fantastic. Lovely to be down here. Now, I think next time I'll be out will be at the weekend. Not sure doing exactly what, but hopefully I can get out at the weekend. And until then, thank you very much for watching. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling, stay safe, and I'll see you again very soon.